guys, how you doing? It's me, Missy Kebs, and as Bruce Forsyth used to say, it's nice to see you nice. Anyway, excuse the scruffy bun. I'm still in the middle of decorating. I'm still in the middle of doing my house up all nice and pretty. I'm going to do a video today talking about a condition that I've had since I was 16 years old. So for 18 years now, I've lived with this condition. Some of my friends don't even know I've got this condition because I hide it quite well. But then other friends who know me a little bit more personal actually know that I have the condition. Okay, now the condition itself is called psoriasis. Now, psoriasis is a skin condition. So for a normal person, your skin cell creates the actual skin cells and replaces them in a process that takes about 3 to 4 weeks. Now that's the normal average person. For somebody with psoriasis, this process only takes 3 to 7 days. So what's happening is my immune system, because I've got an overactive immune system, it's fighting my healthy skin cells because it thinks that, because it's all happening so quickly, it's fighting them off because it thinks it's an infection, and that's how psoriasis comes across. So my immune system, when you should be there fighting colds, you're actually there fighting my skin cells, and it's like, mate, get over there and fight the colds like you're supposed to. But it don't listen. Can't talk to your immune system like that. I don't know if you knew that, but I can't sit there and have a conversation with my immune system. If I could, I'd be the richest woman alive. So anyway, I'm gonna get a little bit more serious now. I've had this condition for a very long time, and I'm sick to death of people staring. Now, I'm quite an easy person to get on with. I'm quite open-minded, etc, etc. If you come to me and say, excuse me, what's that on your skin? I'd be quite happy to tell you that, I have psoriasis. It only affects 2% of people in the UK. I'd brag, I'm one of the only 2% that's got it. So I would be quite happy to sit there and explain to people what it is. I just can't tolerate people that sit there and stare because it's ignorant and I feel like you're uneducated. I'm not an alien from outer space. Yeah. Okay. No alien. Cuckoo, Just come and ask me what it is, and I'll be quite happy to give you information on what it is, so that way I feel like I've actually educated somebody, and the next person that they see with psoriasis, oh, you've got psoriasis, oh, I know, I've met someone with psoriasis once, I'd be quite happy for that. It wouldn't really bother me as much as, don't stare, it's rude. So basically with psoriasis, you can get pustular psoriasis, which is where the skin blisters. I haven't had that one yet, luckily enough. You can get guttate psoriasis, I think that's pronounced correctly, which is where you get the little patches. You also get plaque psoriasis, which is like this one on my elbow. That's plaque because it's quite a large patch, whereas the guttate is like the little, what I call it is raindrop effect. So imagine it raining, and it's leaving little splodges where the rain's landed. That's kind of how I describe my guttate psoriasis. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So yeah, you also get scalp psoriasis, which can drive you nuts. That's why I was dyeing my hair constantly, because it was helping keeping my psoriasis at bay. It wasn't too good on my hair though, but I have stopped dyeing my hair, and I use actually I've got some of it here. It's not really for your scalp, but it's hemp cream, and I actually use that religiously in my scalp, leave it overnight, next day wash it all out, it's all good. So yeah, some people don't really react well to the psoriasis treatments that are out there. You've got UV light therapy. You think you're actually going to get a free suntan, but it's a different kind of light, so it's actually, you have to be quite careful, and they only allow you to have, well, I was told 2 sessions in a lifetime because it can actually cause skin cancer. They use vitamin D creams and stuff. The worst one is biologics, which basically I'm too scared to use that. I was offered it at a time after I had my children. I was quite clear the whole time while I was pregnant. But with biologics, it's a treatment that's offered to patients that have just had a what do you call it? Sorry, brain's going a bit dead. Just bear with me. Right, hang on. Right, okay, it's a treatment that's offered to patients that have just had an organ transplant so that the body doesn't reject the new organ. It's also used in things such as, like, there's one called methotrexate, which is basically a chemotherapy. So it's quite serious stuff. Basically, there's something that goes with psoriasis as well. Not everybody that's got psoriasis gets it, but it's called psoriatic arthritis. Now, in the mornings, sometimes I am like a robot that needs oiling because I literally cannot move my joints. Sometimes it's just so painful and I have to kind of, you know, move around a little bit before I can actually, you know, get full function of my bones. In the winter as well, it can be really unbearable when it's cold. You know, you find that it kind of affects you like normal normal arthritis does. I am actually in a support group on Facebook, which is quite good, and I have spoken to a few of them, and I've got some stories that I'm going to tell you, which I think you might find interesting, just to hear how psoriasis affects different people. Okay, so I've got one from Nicole McDougall. She said, I first started experiencing psoriasis at 17 with only 1 to 3 patches on my scalp. They would come and go and they weren't really too bad. At 22, psoriasis hit me with a vengeance. I have a spot the size of a golf ball on my inner thigh that I still haven't been able to get rid of. My scalp probably has around 6 to 8 patches now, and I have miscellaneous pea-sized to dime-sized spots across my body. I believe my trigger falls back on stress, which in turn gives me stomach problems, and I think that's when the psoriasis gets bad. Okay, so there is a point that she did make about the stomach problems. Now, there is a theory that psoriasis can be caused by something called leaky gut syndrome. Now, this hasn't actually been proved, and we are waiting for more research to be done on this. I will also tell you guys as well, for psoriasis there is actually no cure. I say they have what is called band-aids, where they, you know, we can kind of hold it back with certain medications, but we never really get rid of the condition. You know, the thing is with psoriasis, it's affected some of my relationships. You know, I was with this one guy who basically said, why don't you try getting a scouring pad and try scrubbing it off? It's like, you just don't think about what you're saying. And of course, after that, the relationship broke down because he just wasn't willing to learn about the skin condition that I had. He thought that he knew better. He's probably watching this video now. Sorry. Anyway, Zena Smith. I was diagnosed at the age of 20 when domestic violence started in my marriage. I have now had it for 28 years, and any trauma in my life causes a major flare. Now, this is the thing. Sometimes stress can cause major flare-outs. I find that, obviously, because I have ADHD and I have anxiety as well, I find that sometimes those can trigger my psoriasis off. Now, this is the thing with psoriasis. I mean, sometimes I can go years with not having any at all. Sometimes I can go years with having loads of psoriasis. Sometimes I can go years with just having little patches. I mean, it depends. It's like psoriasis is actually a thing where it's got a mind of its own and it just does what it wants to do, and my psoriasis is so unpredictable. Like, I just dread it. When I see a little red patch, I'm just like, oh no, please. And there's been times like I haven't wanted to leave my house because, you know, I feel like everybody's going to stare at me. I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm always wrapping up, always wearing long sleeve tops. I mean, with my medication and stuff, I do moisturise like 2-3 times a day. Sometimes, like, I use steroid cream. I'm using a thing called, at the moment, it's quite good. This is a new thing that's out at the moment. It's called Instilla Foam, and it literally is. You have to be careful because it sets your smoke alarm off. But I don't know if you can see, it comes out like a spray, like a mousse, and then on your skin, you just literally rub it in. And that's what I'd stopped using for the sake of the video, but that's what's keeping my psoriasis calm at the moment, so I can start using that again now. But yeah, what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to have some pictures as well, you know, so you guys can actually see what psoriasis looks like on different people. Okay, so Miranda Jones says, I've had psoriasis since I was 3. I'm now 33. 30 years of psoriasis. Only triggers are stress, cold, alcohol and strep infections. Okay, So Thelma Medina, I hope I pronounced your name right, says, I'm 45 and have had severe plaque psoriasis over 95% of my body for over 35 years. I have it from head to toe, literally. I also have psoriatic arthritis. Stress doesn't help, and the heat sucks because sweating causes it to burn and itch. I usually scratch until I am a body mess. It's depressing and has definitely kept me from being active and sociable. It's also embarrassing. So even during the hottest months of 100 degrees, I wear long sleeves. I can so sympathise with that. She said, I'm desperate for help because the only thing has helped so far regularly is methotrexate. But the side effects are horrible for me, so I get very anxious having to take it weekly. I hope one day there's a cure. You know what, with the methotrexate as well, that is such a horrible thing. I mean, I'm too scared to take it. They did actually prescribe it for me once, but it just sat in the cupboard and I didn't take it because I was so scared, because it can cause liver damage and all sorts. Like, you actually have to go for weekly blood tests to check your, I think it's weekly or fortnightly, but just to kind of check, you know, what is going on with your liver and stuff. I don't know why I'm like, they're looking at my liver like I can actually see it, sorry. But yeah, it's really quite a severe medication. Like, the fact that, you know, they use it as an anti-cancer drug, like, you know, chemotherapy, it's quite, you know, a big thing. Okay, so basically, Jaden Mackenzie has said, when I was about 10, I remember going to the doctor's and the doctor noticed a patch under my arm. At that point, she didn't even know what it was. For years, I had it. It wasn't until I was 17 I started to get something on my head. Thought it was dandruff at first, I guess like a lot of people with scalp psoriasis. It wasn't until a couple of months later I went to the doctor's and it was finally diagnosed with psoriasis. It was horrible at first because I didn't really understand it. Yeah, it was upsetting also because I hated how I looked. I just felt ugly and worthless, to be honest. I always thought people would look at me in the street and just not even talk to me because of it. Now, nearly 2 years on from there, I've learned to live with it. Still stressful and can be upsetting at times, but you know, sometimes you just got to take it on the chin, accept it and love yourself for who you are. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so nice. Okay, so, you know, and this is the thing, like, I would just basically want to say, like, please stop staring. You know, as I was saying earlier, just come and ask me what it is. I'll be quite happy to tell you what it is. This is a thing, like, people, it's the same as if there's a dispute going on in the street, you know, or you see somebody being bullied, or, you know, you see someone homeless. People tend to just stare. And it's like, maybe if we started being a little bit more nicer to other people and, you know, start trying to understand people and their situations, you know, maybe the world would be a better place. There's no need to stare. Like, you know, I have a mouth, I can talk, you know, come and ask me, you know, and I'll be quite happy to give you the as much information as I can. So basically what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to leave some links so that if you have psoriasis and you want some extra support, you can, there's plenty of information online. You know, I really hope this has been beneficial, and I really hope I really hope it raises some awareness as to what it's like to live with the condition. You know, and for anybody out there that's got it and who feels they're on their own, like, I hope, you know, you found some comfort in knowing that you're not alone. And, you know, if you want to message me, you know, you can message me on YouTube, that's fine. You can message me on my page, Missy Kebs YouTuber, and, you know, I'll be happy to sit and talk to you. You know, I'll try and help as much as I can. Guys, as well, please check your change. Just a little bit of change can go a long way. It all adds up. So I will say, you know, if you can give to the psoriasis charity, please, I'll post a link for that also. Yeah, and I hope you guys are well. It's nearly Christmas soon, so I'm going to be getting ready for some more Christmas videos and stuff. Hope you're all well. Take care. See you soon.